Hey guys, welcome to episode number 6 of the Athletes in Adversity podcast. Today we're going to be talking about CeeDee Lamb, obviously a young superstar in college football right now. It's just going to be basically my thoughts on the kid, where I think he's going to end up in the draft, and how he's going to fare in the NFL. So with that, make sure to go follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and subscribe to my YouTube channel at AthletesInAdversity, as well as my Twitter at AthletesPod. Also, go support the show for as little as 99 cents a month right on Anchor.fm. Or if you want to be more generous, go pledge up to $50 a month on my Patreon at Athletes in Adversity. So with that, let's get today's show started. Now let's look at this kid's 2019 season stats. He had 62 receptions, 1,327 yards, 14 touchdowns, and averaged 21.4 yards per catch. Now, that last stat really speaks to me. 21.4 yards per catch. That's ridiculous. Of course, he played for the Oklahoma Sooners. If you guys don't know him, he was one of the top rated prospects, top rated wide receivers in the whole entire NCAA. Of course, this season was really a huge season for him, probably his biggest season to date. It is his biggest season today, as 2017 he only had 807 yards. 2018, he had 1,158 yards. In 2019, of course, he had 1,327 yards, as I just stated. Now, Oklahoma had a pretty good season this year. Now, let's take a look at CeeDee Lamb's combine results. His 40-yard dash was 4.5 seconds, which is ridiculously fast. His bench press, he only had 11 reps. His vertical jump, 34.5 inches. And his broad jump was 124 inches flat. Along with his combine stats, he was actually the Houston Touchdown Club Offensive Player of the Year in 2016 when he was in high school. In high school, he recorded 2,032 receiving yards and 33 touchdowns on 98 receptions, and he also returned 3 punts for touchdowns. He was a 4-star recruit and became a freshman All-American his first year with the Sooners. Starting 13 of 14 games he played, and he beat school records left and right as a freshman with 807 receiving yards, as I stated. He earned honorable mention, all Big 12 honors from the league's coaches as a sophomore. He led Oklahoma with 11 receiving yards that season. He took over punt return duties in 2018, and he cemented his status as one of the top receivers in the country in 2019. He got first-team Associated Press All-American and first-team All-Big 12 honors. He led the Sooners with 62 receptions, as I stated that season, last year, and 14 touchdowns and 13 starts. Now, NFL analyst Lance Zierlein compared him mostly to Chad Johnson, and I'm just going to read the overview he gave him. He's an explosive 3-level playmaker with a vital cog and one of the most potent offensive matches in college football over the last 3 seasons. Lamb uses speed and separation quickness to dominate competition in a scheme that frequently created open throws in space. His routes will need to become more efficient and crisp to beat man-to-man coverage against NFL size and speed. But his ball skills and explosiveness with the ball in his hands should allow teams to scheme him into explosive opportunities right away. Lamb has potential to play any of the 3 receiver positions as a pro and should benefit greatly from the NFL's continued movement towards college-style passing attacks. So I'm just going to talk about some strengths and weaknesses of CeeDee Lamb. He's a big play talent on all 3 levels of the field. He's a havoc wrecker with the ball in his hands. Again, he averaged 21.4 yards per catch in 2019 as a primary target. He changes route tempo and speeds to rock coverage to sleep. He's a glider who separates on all forms of crossing routes. He's able to gather and open suddenly on back shoulders and comebacks. Hand catches with good arm extension. Bouncy hops for jump balls. He makes late body adjustments to secure difficult deep catches. Slippery open field runner with excellent vision. Now here are some weaknesses. He does have a slender build for consideration as a primary target. Frequently unchallenged by cornerbacks he's played. needs faster, more efficient press release against corners, wasted motion and steps setting up his breaks, and he can do a better job as a stock blocker. Again, this is all by NFL analyst Lance Zierlein. Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying today's episode of the Athletes in Adversity podcast. Make sure to go follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, all at Athletes in Adversity, as well as my Twitter at AthletesPod. Also, go support the show for as little as 99 cents a month right on Anchor.fm. Or if you want to be more generous, go pledge up to $50 a month and receive exclusive benefits on my Patreon, Athletes in Adversity. So with that, let's continue today's episode. Now, in my opinion, he has really 3 landing spots in the draft. He can either go 12, 13, and 14, and that's really unless someone tries to trade up for him, those are really the 3 landing spots I can realistically see him going to. And those are, the 12th pick is the Raiders, the 13th pick is the 49ers, and the 14th pick is the Buccaneers. Now, I can see him going to the Raiders because, they're new in Vegas. They need some talent on their roster. Derek Carr needs a new man to throw to. I think it would be a great pickup for the Raiders. I don't know how much improvement the Raiders would be from just getting CeeDee Lamb on the roster, but I can realistically see that happening. Now, let's go to the 49ers here. The 49ers would be a great pickup for CeeDee Lamb. Garoppolo needs another weapon to throw to, and that offense is already ridiculous, so add another talented asset to that offense, and you have a great offensive team. Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying today's episode of the Athletes in Adversity podcast. Make sure to go follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, all at Athletes in Adversity, as well as my Twitter at AthletesPod. Also, go support the show for as little as 99 cents a month right on Anchor.fm. Or if you want to be more generous, go pledge up to $50 a month and receive exclusive benefits on my Patreon, Athletes in Adversity. So with that, let's continue today's episode. Now let's go to the third team on my list, which I would think is the best fit for CeeDee Lamb right now. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who just, of course, signed Tom Brady. And they might be signing more wide receivers. We don't know. Antonio Brown might be going there. Who knows? But if they drafted CeeDee Lamb, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers would have the best offense in the NFL. And with CeeDee Lamb learning from Tom Brady and catching passes from Tom Brady, I think that is the best opportunity for CeeDee Lamb to succeed right now, is with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But I realistically see him going to the Raiders or 49ers. But the Bucs, in my opinion, is the best fit. The best offensive fit for CeeDee Lamb. However, there's one thing that may impact his draft stock, and that is the trading of DeAndre Hopkins to Arizona that just happened. So Kyler Murray has expressed glee at the prospect of Lamb joining the Cardinals. However, I really think that's off the table now for the Cardinals. I don't think they can have that. I mean, it's not off the table, but honestly, I don't think it's a good fit right now with Hopkins, Fitzgerald, and now you're going to add Lamb to the roster. I don't think they're not going to be able to share the ball. I just don't see that happening. And yeah, it's going to affect CeeDee Lamb's draft stock, but if he can go to a team like the 49ers or Bucs, I think it's going to really give him the best opportunity to succeed in the NFL, because he'll be playing with good quarterbacks, Garoppolo, Brady. He'll be playing with those type of guys. And I think that's going to really help him in the long run. Now, if you look at some tape, Lamb can improve on one thing that really stands out to me, and this is just my opinion: making contested catches. He was not consistent on making contested catches this season. The only contested ball he caught where the ball traveled more than 20 yards in the air all season was against LSU on that long touchdown drive. And that's really concerning to me. He he can't make catches on 50-50 deep balls. And he can't make contested catches in general. He does have great hands, but in situational football, he cannot make the big plays down the field when a man's on him, like guys like Mike Evans or even Antonio Brown. That's a good example. Antonio Brown with the short little slant routes, he can make those catches when a guy's on him. But a guy like CeeDee Lamb cannot make those catches, which is very telling. He can definitely improve to be a deep threat in the league, and his hands look very good, but in my opinion, it's something he needs to improve on if he wants to become a superstar player. He is not good at making contested catches at all. Now, I agree with NFL analyst Lance Zierlein on who his NFL comparison could be. Chad Johnson, Chad Ochocinco. I think he is the exact type of player that he was. Chad Ochocinco, of course, a playmaker. He made plays. But when it comes to deep catches, just like CeeDee Lamb, Chad Ochocinco could not make those plays. And I think that's really going to be his stock. And that's going to be the highest level CeeDee Lamb can get to. Now, in his prime, Chad Ochocinco was a great receiver and a talented guy. But I think CeeDee Lamb is going to end up somewhere in his prime like Chad Ochocinco. Obviously a great talent, but he can never really catch those deep balls down the field. Hey guys, thank you all for listening to today's episode of the Athletes in Adversity podcast. Make sure to go follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, all at Athletes in Adversity, as well as my Twitter at AthletesPod. Also, go support the show for as little as 99 cents a month right on Anchor.fm. Or if you want to be more generous, go pledge up to $50 a month on my Patreon, Athletes in Adversity. So with that, we're going to end the show today. I hope you all enjoyed it. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you for listening to the Athletes in Adversity podcast.